Back at the show with James today. Got my YouTube channel, James from Seeker Horse, the digital creator. So,
In the new studio as
in the
well.
new studio, James actually set this thing up. It's going to get even better. Some lightings has to go to come. So, yeah, I've been asking James about some of the topics that I wanted to cover about the digital creator side of the things because being a digital creator, James, and he evolved over the years. I saw how anybody actually put in the time, learn a skill, and become really good over a time. And why a person should have the discipline and how they can actually go about. Because what I want to pretty much get is for the people, because I cater to the digital entrepreneurs, digital nomads, and who want to become a digital nomad, right? So being a digital creator is one of the areas that anybody can really go about learning.
Hmm.
What's your message for anybody who want to become a digital creator, and a little bit of your story and how you feel about being a digital creator and where you see yourself in the
Hmm.
next 3, 5, 10 years time?
Okay, right. So we'll get started with where I got started, I suppose, which is it was actually COVID. I think, like a lot
Yeah.
of people, you lost your direction if you didn't have a job that you could keep going to. If it closed down. So for me, it was I got into Minecraft, but I noticed there was a lot of tutorials, but these tutorials weren't right. They weren't right for what I wanted, and I thought surely people. So I suppose that was the start. I wanted people to get tutorials that were like easy, and obviously I'd started making them. So all a bit of fun at first. You start to learn from that. You start to take tips, or you get tips from yourself. Obviously, you do stuff wrong, you rewatch it. This is why it's not too important about what you're uploading. Like just start uploading at first. Doesn't matter whether it's 10, 20, 100 videos. You're always going to look back at them and think, oh, they were terrible, because you're always progressing. But I suppose one of the main things I carried on is because it's fun as well. It's fun to do. It's like, as I said, you learn, you progress, but then it's fun. Sometimes when you first start, every now and again you get a really nice comment, which really does drive you on. It sounds
Yeah.
silly now, but when you first start, your first year, you got like 10 subscribers. One person to go, oh, amazing, thank you, mate. Like that makes your
Yeah.
world.
Yeah.
And it's little stuff like that, but
I mean, the competition is really high right now because
competition's high.
all people can wish was started early, right, on the YouTube or in the digital creation. But like, why not start right now? Because
Hmm.
what we have to understand. So I see the views and all what we could get compared to all those people who started 7 years, 8 years, 10 years back, right? Some
Hmm.
some some launch it quickly, but mostly the experienced people really do it. So, but we have to understand only like 2 billion people actually what they're saying, 2.5 billion or so people are consuming YouTube,
Hmm.
and there is a world of 8 billion people. And just imagine now the 2 billion people coming onto the YouTube. Look at them. So that's what I'm
Hmm.
thinking. Even all these things we are doing, the people that are coming, that's why you need to really think about a digital creator, digital
I
expertise.
mean, another thing, just for instance, is how many people do you know, or even think of yourself? Do you watch regular TV? Probably not. You probably watch YouTube, you probably watch Netflix, you probably watch something online. That's where the world's going. And this
Yeah.
is why it's only going to get higher and higher, the people that watch. Whether it's TikTok, whether it's YouTube, whether it's on Instagram, whether it's a social, that's where people spend the majority of their days. So whether you're doing shorts, whether you're doing long videos, there's going to be an audience. There's going to be multiple platforms you can share it on. So maybe what doesn't do well on one might do really great on
Really
another.
well on another.
Like Facebook for us
Yeah.
lately is doing
Yeah.
great for
I mean, I
videos.
started with Facebook.
Hmm.
YouTube, I never really did much. I like the Facebook Lives.
Hmm.
That's how to start Seeker Horse, growing that PBN group. It was the thing really,
Hmm.
because before I could just drop anything, go live, 200 people would watch, right? That was really for the business. I went on the Facebook Lives and tells to educate people about the PBNs, expired
Hmm.
domains, how to do SEO. That's the way to get it started. So opportunity wise, being a digital creator, that's the role. That's a career path. Being a digital creator
Well,
is a
definitely.
really big career
Well,
path.
a,
Anybody.
a difference between, like, for instance, what you were saying then is a lot of people, will have a company or something and they post on Facebook, but they're just posting like, God, I'm like, in my mind, I've got this old pub that used to post, come check this out tonight, every night about something. No one cares, but they do care when you put a video up. Like, you used to
Yeah.
go live. They're like, well, who is this? Like,
Yeah.
why? Why are they up? And like, I want to find
Yeah.
out more. Your intrigue is going. You're not intrigued about someone saying, come join us, two for £5 drinks. That's not intriguing. The video's intriguing. Even as a bar, you could do the same thing, but it's
Oh
going to
yeah,
be
yeah.
much better to
For
view.
bars and all, I've seen like for like dance clubs, salsa clubs, or like things like they need to storytell starting with the
Oh,
few
yeah.
audience they have. So for example, they have the people who are coming, they give them something, they encourage them to share. So you run a live show, they share, 10 people share, 20 people share, their friends start seeing, that's a fun bar, people want to come. So for
Yeah.
that's the thing, even for all the kind of things like media is the where to go. That's why we're doing videos, right? Get in front of the people. Like it tells a story, because some of the things you cannot actually get from written words, but people would look at other people. People grew up watching movies. People like to watch a movie more than reading a book,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
People would
yeah.
enjoy watching what
Well, it's
other
a different
people.
generation now,
It's
isn't
a different
it? You
generation,
know?
so it's only going to rise. It's going to really rise.
Yeah, so all the people in their 30s, 40s, you know, especially 30s and up to a certain extent, you know, even I actually had a console when I grew up. My parents didn't. You know, there's a big difference. So I've always had that TV. I've always had some digitalness, you know,
Yeah.
even like going back to young. So yeah, so it's a whole thing. It's what you're used to. People are used to. People aren't used to going to channel 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 anymore and watching something boring for like 2 hours to maybe watch a film in 2 hours. They want it now, and they want it quick, and they
Yeah.
want it precise, and they want it well thought of. You know, they don't want the 60 seconds about nothing, because even the 60 seconds is long for people now. You know, their attention span's gone. You know, especially young kids. I mean, even getting older, because we sit there on our things, attention spans are going. People don't want to hear like sometimes 10 minutes. If you can break a 10-minute thing down into 20 seconds, you know, you're winning. You got people's attention.
Yeah.
It's quick, so they don't have time to like, you know.
But once you win from the shorter versions, and then they like you, then you're a brand. When they know you, they like your content. Then people watch the longer content. That's what
Yeah,
I
yeah.
feel. So
It's
you can
story.
score
If
really
you can
well
tell
with
story.
YouTube Shorts also, Instagram Reels or something.
Oh, they're
But
good.
if they watch that, they tend to come and watch the longer form when you post, because they already saw something. They
gotta
consume
trust
the
you,
shorter,
haven't they?
because you cannot enter to the person with the long form video straight away. Then are like,
They're not gonna watch it,
they're
are
not
they?
going to watch it even halfway. They're going to fall down. But the shorter one, if you enter to them, if you feed them several shorter videos, and then they're like, okay, now I'm seeing the long video. So I started to see if they see more shorts, and they will even probably be seeing
Yeah,
their
yeah.
long
Well,
videos.
essentially, you got their trust, haven't
Yeah.
you? They know that by watching your shorter videos, it wasn't a waste of time. So now they're like, actually, I quite like this guy. I might watch, you know, a
Yeah.
longer video by him. The longer videos are hard these days, you know.
Long
Like,
videos are hard to hold people. I don't watch
Gosh.
long videos. Like I don't.
Yeah, I
some-
don't
I
either.
don't. I see like people. I think people doing the long form videos for just to get it cut down for shorts, like especially podcasters. Even the long.
usually it's for ads. If it's over 10
Even-
minutes, you get a mid-roll ad that makes you more
Yeah,
money.
it
That's
is.
why
But
people
like the people roll out 1 hour things like unless you're doing a long drive. So then it's people who I would say like if you're doing a long drive, you would watch it. So yeah, that's the thing really. But like for digital creators, massive opportunity. You know, everybody
yeah.
should also become a digital creator in at least one aspect. So I try to tell to even business owners. So you might maybe not be able to do the creative editing, but you can do some storytelling. You're the person. So be in front of the camera, tell your story, get the people to edit. Opportunities are endless. Everybody, even at like now at the Seeker Hotstar, like ClickDo, I'm just telling, like, tell your story, get it. People want to hear it from the person they would want to work with. If they see, they feel they got a tip, they tend to buy from that person more. Freelancers, they need to become storytellers. They need to really get it. Whether you are a content writer, if you actually can tell it in a video format, and get the
yeah.
people and tell how good you are, you will score better. I look at all the people I hire and look at like for like videography or anything, the photography or any sort of things. If a person has some sort of a social media, Instagram, they are writing, they are passionate, so that's the stand-up people can have.
Yeah,
And,
it helps. I mean, social media is massive these days.
Yeah.
It never used to be the fact that if you had like, you know, when it first started, Facebook and stuff, but like now it's like if you have a following,
yeah.
you know, it's huge to people because you know you might have 10,000 people, but then as a company, you know, you can then advertise to 10,000 people.
Yeah,
you know, like
yeah.
which is, I suppose that's where
I
brand.
mean,
deals and
that's
stuff,
how
I
it
mean,
is really. So like starting a Facebook group as a digital creator, that's really, people can really think it's hard. Like it's really hard. But when I saw this your consultant group, like PV Demystify groups actually grew, and I utilized now. Most of them are customers, so that really helped. Really, you know,
Yeah,
the
I
hard
bet.
work you put hours and hours. It got competitive. Now people have so many options. But if you want to build something, you got to think about all the people who are going to come newly,
Mm-hmm.
right? So if you start right now and if you win by 2025 and then you start getting those people, your brand or business is going to be having a chance really.
Of course, and they've seen you previously, so the trust is there.
So yeah, that's the digital creators path. And what do you think, Jameson? Your thing, like you want to evolve this career, like really take things to the next level. Any things that
yeah.
you're learning, especially these days as a digital creator, or what are the things?
So for me personally, I'm trying to get more intricate with my editing. So obviously, you know, I know the standard editing. I know how to edit multiple cameras and stuff like that. But I really want to learn the stuff that when I first started editing, I used to look at and think I'm never going to check that out ever.
Yeah.
Because now I've got that medium knowledge or that previous knowledge, which then allows you to go to the advanced knowledge. You know, whereas at first when I first started, I never ever have even wanted to learn that. Now I'm looking at it like actually, you know, because of my previous knowledge, I can actually excel.
Yeah.
I can do stuff that people can't, and that I want to become the best at particular things like green screen. I want to be the best. You know, I don't know why. It was one of them
Yeah.
things that I just discovered by watching a YouTube video. But then as I started playing around, I realised that actually you don't just have to listen to somebody. Like just you can learn stuff. You know, so I just started getting better and better. And yeah, so just lots of mini projects to improve yourself as a whole. I would say is the best
Yeah.
thing. So lots of things, improve yourself as a whole, and yeah, you know, another thing as well is you don't know, or it's hard to know when the good times are when you're having them, you know. So like a lot of people get down in the dumps because it's like, well, oh god, this and that. But actually, I bet in a year's time you look back and you're like, oh, that was really great. That was my like transition to like getting, you know, somewhere. So yeah, don't be down on yourselves. Keep your
It
spirits
is
up.
like, so I could see like even trying to learn SEO back in the days, years of putting it down, building the backlink, removing the backlink, trying to do the keyword research. Like what a thing! I saw people come in and joining Click2, leaving after a month. They're like, this is crazy. But like you're hammering and learning and evolve, it helps to make some money. It all pays back, you know. This is how the
Yeah,
life works, really, you know. So
Yeah.
it's hard, but you learn and become good, and then the path is really long. So the digital creator, the digital economy, right? So it's a long way anybody can become. You can start as a digital marketer, become a digital creator, then lot of things, digital entrepreneurship. You build your departments if you're in a company, or else you build your own thing, right? So opportunities like really long way it can go.
Yeah.
And the digital economy is getting really big, and anybody has a massive opportunity. Newcomers, so many information is there at the Seacoast University to start the base level skills that you learn to entering the digital economy, even as a digital creator, you knowing how to create a website, build, see how many you know how to build a landing page and how you stand out more than any other digital creator or as a videographer, normal videographer, because you can get a landing page up, you can build a website, you can build membership site, you really learn the vast skills to become that person, right? To do
You
lot of
learn a
things.
lot.
You
Don't
learn
you?
a lot.
It's not like you learn. So, for instance, I don't just learn media and cameras and stuff.
Yeah.
Like you said, I learn all about websites and stuff that's associated, and then from that, you'd be like, oh, I wonder how you do that, and then it makes sense because you've done that previous thing, and then you know, you're opening your horizons, I suppose.
That's about it, really. So yeah, that video, just want to get with James about the real creator and for the real economy, how for what's the long term the paths for real creators. So you heard that one. I'll be back with James, more videos. Let me know if any topics to be covered from a real creator's point of view. And thanks for listening for this video.
Cheers, guys.